Alright, so this is Astro's Playroom. This is like, you buy a PlayStation, you get this to show off the controller. People recommended it and said I should check it out, so... This experience was created to show you some of the cool tricks possible with the DualSense wireless controller. Oh, I see. So I can't really explain what this feels like, necessarily. This was explained to me before, and I didn't get it until just now. The adaptive triggers are cool, though. You can feel them. They get hard. They stiffen. I don't know how to describe it. Made in dreams. I mean, it reminds me of dreams. Okay. Kinda cool so far. This just reminds me that Nintendo Land is never gonna be on anything but the Wii U. That was another good pack-in tech demo. Because it actually had games that, like, I would play. 1-2 Switch not good enough for you? I've heard everybody 1-2 Switch is a massive piece of shit. Where does Wii Sports stack up? Wii Sports is probably the best one of all time, in terms of, the effect it had. Whether or not it's the best, like, in terms of fun, I don't know, I'm not sure. Though it was the very, very successful, like, tech demo of, like, oh, this is what the Wii is, this is how it works. Were there any other, like, tech demo games? Connectimals? No. Super Mario World was a pack-in. I would argue that that's a little different. Just because that game is a full-ass game, and it wasn't really designed to show off the Super Nintendo... I mean, maybe it was, but... Oh yeah, Monster Hunter reference. Oh, so there's gonna be references in here and stuff? Who's this asshole? Is this game worth $500? I'll tell you what. Ask again after Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 comes out, and then I'll let you know if it was worth buying a PlayStation 5 for 2 games. Yes, there's a few more games than that, some of which aren't on the PC, but this has become a Final Fantasy machine for me. And also, maybe shovelware and dreams. Can't believe they got Daft Punk to come back together for this game soundtrack. Look at this insult. We get a Bloodborne reference. Bloodborne never. Like, I'm not sure, if there was a Bloodborne remake, I'm not even sure I would play the whole thing, because I just kind of played it. I don't know what this is a reference to. Last of Us? Oh, the mushrooms, right. Right. Okay, I haven't played any of those games. I know people have recommended them before, or the first one at least, like, Vinny, you need to play this, you have the PlayStation, you could play this. I'm sure it is a wonderful game, but I'm not interested, I'm sorry, chat. But I've also been recommended the Horizon games, God of War. Like, there's a lot of PlayStation series that I just missed out on. Spooderman, Persona. Vinny, play 150 hours of Persona, please. Is this Nathaniel Drake? It is. Well, the controller sure is vibrating. Like, every movement has an equivalent vibration. It's not really using the analog triggers. Funky. Oh, now it's doing them. I get it. Oh, I see. Oh, I have to actually... I get it. I have to be the controller by being the monkey. I heard what sounded like a Redwing Blackbird. Bird nerd? Not really. Just common, you know, New York birds. You have to jelk the controller. You disgusting, disgusting chat member. Ray Trace ruins. I feel like that's just the... the current state of ray tracing in terms of, remember when they remade Quake 2 with ray tracing and it looked like shit? That's just the PR on ray tracing. It's fine. Ray tracing is fine. But then there's so many games that ship, and it's like, turn ray tracing off, it breaks the game. I've seen it look really good, but I've also seen it look really bad. I just don't think it's quite there yet. Demon Souls? Okay. The Order in 1776? Oh, okay. I don't even remember that game existing. I mean, make no mistake, there's some classic Sony stuff in here, and lots of stuff that I recognize, but, you know, it's not like, oh look, there's Metroid from Metroid. That's a little bit more difficult for Sony to pull off. Most of their stuff at this point has been on other consoles. Sorry, Sony. The console wars are over. And you know who won? Yeah, the Ouya. Get fucked. Yeah, get yourself some... buy some more games, Sony. Why don't you buy Duke Nukem now? Get that Duke Nukem forever. Okay, so this is cool. The resistance that you get, like, from shooting an arrow is genuinely cool. So I kind of shit on the PS5 in regards to why would anyone need this when you have a PC? And the answer is, like, you just don't want to deal with PC stuff. Really, I mean, it's a powerful console. It's user-friendly. The quality of life stuff is great. It's massive. It's way bigger than I expected. Holy shit. It is a big console. But if you're already, like, if you're like me and you already have a good computer for, you know, gamer shit and for streaming, then yeah, the only reason to pick up a PS5 is just a couple exclusives. So yes, I understand the utility of getting a PlayStation. It makes a lot of sense for a very wide degree of people. I mean, I feel lucky I got Final Fantasy 16 for free. That if I didn't, this wouldn't be happening right now. That was like the impetus. And again, I've had issues with Square. I've had a lot of issues with Square. But lately, they've been like, yeah, have our game. And then they're just like, do you want this copy of Final Fantasy 16? You don't have to thank Square every 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, guess I have to fucking buy a PlayStation 5 for it, but sure. You know, $500 is not exactly an easy purchase. Like, I can't just, for anyone, that should be like, a little bit of thought process should go into that. So, I really had to think about this. I'm like, what other games am I gonna play on this console? And yeah, I mean, there's a potential I would play Spider-Man because New York City. Always a big fan of New York City and video games. I gotta say, I'm not overly interested in God of War. And yes, it looks cool as fuck. It does really look cool, and I'm sure... Oh, this is the PS4 noise. Listen, the good news about having a PS5 for streaming, just purely as a streamer, is I now have more options. So I'm just trying to justify the purchase here, chat. Just let me have this, thank you. I got that. I'm looking at it right now. The Bloodborne machine. No, I got some good games on there. I got the I Am Mayo game. The fuck? Everything needs to have a gacha machine these days? Another PS4! Who wants this one? Oh, it's the PS4 Pro. Hang on. Well, it's nice to have a pack-in game that actually has some substance to it. Vita? Yeah, Vita's a whole different story. I did borrow a PSP for a while. Remember the PSP commercial, Vinny? Oh, I try not to. Very Mario 3D World. If not reference, but like take pointers from a 3D platformer. I'm not saying they did, but if you're going to, you should probably take a look at some of the Mario games. Sunshine. I mean, this is a Sunshine mechanic. Oh, they did. They did, and that's okay. No, because it's cheating. Speaking of the God of War. Loco Roco. He wants to hate it, but can't. Believe it or not, I want to like things. Let's put it this way, I would rather have a good time for a competing console than the one that I grew up with, than enjoy the hatred of a bad game, so that way I could, like, feel the tasty hate from my, and schlorp the console company of my choice. Like, when I got a PS1, I was a little salty because, you know, Square was on Nintendo. They made Chrono Trigger, they made Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy, it was all on Nintendo. So I had to get a PlayStation, but then I realized something, the PlayStation was awesome, and the discs allowed you to, like, have voice acting and, like, cutscenes, and the controller actually kind of made sense, and I ended up really enjoying the console quite a bit. Concrete Genie? Again, never even heard of that. I've heard of Game Genie from Galoob. What was the thing you needed to make for PS Move? Oh, those are the Hitachi PS1s. Feel the sand. It's like little vibrations, yeah. Ducks. Placid Plastic Duck Simulator? Is this you? PS3 tech demo. Oh, I remember that. Chat, look, I'm Mario on Yoshi. So wait, is each area like a reference to, listen, I'm kind of dumb, so each one's a different console. Okay. Wow, it took me that long to realize. I don't know what this is either. Fat Princess. Oh, that I've heard of. Really trying to get those haptics. I mean, it feels like a spring. It's genuinely impressive. It offers the right amount of resistance and a little bit of vibration, and it feels like a spring. Well, the sound effect helps too. What the fuck is this? I like how that actually looks like a carbine of some kind, compared to like Barbie Nintendo toys. Colonel, this is Solid Snake. It's at the point now where people are asking David at panels across various conventions he goes to, do you know that Vinny guy? And he has to like pretend he likes me. No, he's cool. We had a good conversation, but I mean, chat, don't ask him about me. You know there's at least 35 more interesting questions that you could ask him. I mean, he does have a good sense of humor, so that's good at least. Vinny, what are your thoughts on thoughts? Sometimes I wish I didn't think. Does that help? You know that moment in I Think You Should Leave from last season where he's wearing the bizarre old man outfit and he's like, I don't even want to be here anymore. I was watching some of the new Eric Andre episodes. I mean, it's still funny. I mean, Hannibal's not there anymore, but it's still a funny show. But it's funny in a way that I don't laugh out loud. I just kind of look at it like how did he come up with all this and then actually pull it off? Like, is this guy sick or is he okay?
God. Oh shit!
And I can only watch like 2 episodes in a row. Any more than that, and I think I just suffer brain damage. Is this Infamous? What is this? Resident Evil? Oh yeah. What is going on with that one robot on the table? Is he humping that popcorn? A UMD. Vato Rocco. Please play UMD. We're at the point now where anything with 3 letters is a please play. Thank you, chat. Oh yeah, look, those are the icons. How about that? Yeah, I'm sorry to say this, chat, but I don't really have a lot of nostalgia for the PS3. I had it for a few games. I enjoyed those games. It was fine. MGS4 machine? Yeah, MGS4 was one of them. 3D Dot Heroes. I mean, I didn't play like Uncharted. I know I missed a lot of big games on the console. The reason I ended up going with Xbox that console generation is because that's the one my friends were playing. So like if everyone's playing their Call of Duties and GTAs and Gears of War on their Xbox, you know, I didn't want to be left out. Is this like a slim edition? Because mine doesn't have rounded corners like that. PSP Go. No UMD. Oh my god. This looks cool. It wasn't. It hurt my hands. Vinny, please play OMG. Vinny, it fucked my wife's wife. Oh, that's a shame. There's a Symphony of the Night reference in this that you missed. I missed it? Oh man. There it is. The original. There it is. There's the best game. Norman Reedus and the Streetus. Deletus. Well, I was gonna try to go through there, but I'd rather rush through the levels. I'm just developing my speedrunning techniques, chat. I think my speedrun probably is ruined by now. That would be my guess. Heavy Rain? Jason! Sean! Press X to Jason. Oh, okay. Monkey Ball. You want to talk about some dedication? But also, Mario Galaxy. Except instead of rotating the whole controller, you're just using the touchpad, which is a nice thing, because I would rather play this like that marble game in the arcade, and this kind of simulates that. Chat, I thought that this console was a myth for 2 years. I had never seen one in person. I had never played a game on it. Everywhere was sold out of one. Like, I actually thought PS5 was like some kind of jape. It was just a mass hallucination, the PS5. Like, I think people had to, like, Sony had to actually go and make one, because at that point, there was rumors that it was real. So they were like, all right, let's do it. Do you think any of the other consoles are jealous that Sony gets to just keep using PlayStation? Because they did it first. Someone said, I lost track of Xbox names. I still don't fully know what we're up to with Xbox. Like, is it Series X or Series S? Which is the new one? Meanwhile, PlayStation is like, hello, we are PlayStation 5. Next will be PlayStation 6, thank you. Meanwhile, Nintendo is naming their shit after cocks and, like, sex positions. It was like, okay, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and then, like, we thought it was gonna be Ultra Nintendo or something, like Ultra 64. And it was going to be called Ultra 64 at one point. And then they got rid of the Ultra. Because it's like, okay, what do you do after Super? Ultra. And then after that, what do you do? Because it's gonna get ridiculous real quick. Mega. Giga. Nintendo. Stupendous Nintendo. No, Cube! Now we name this console Cube! Look at the shape, it got handle! Miyamoto Nobunaga was like, we should give this thing a handle. Infamous, right? What's this? Siren? Okay. But yeah, Sony is just like, they got it easy. They could just go PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, PS6 until they get to the orb, the PS9. Then they have to figure out how to make an orb. Meanwhile, here I am trying to, like, is the Switch 2 a good name? Switch Plus? No, because then that sounds like an enhanced edition. The Switcher? The Super Switch. Oh, don't call it the new Switch. What? Oh god, Nintendo better not call it the new Switch. It seems like they've moved away from that naming scheme. The Switcheroo? Yeah. Oh, that was the, like, open button on the PS1. That's neat. Oh my fucking god. Boy, if I didn't have to control this with the touch thing for precision's sake, I might be able to get it, but I'm just gonna give up now. It's fun to control it like this, but I am fucking terrible at it. Oh no! Fallout! Good timing on the music. I'm sorry, but Sony has not topped that as an intro sound. PS2 is pretty good too. Sure. Pretty good, but this, it builds mystique. It builds intrigue. It's just perfect. It's deep, powerful. It's the fucking, when you go into the CD player in the PS1, that color, like, splash thing is what it looked like. And the balls too in the background there, the orbs. Yeah, I never had that portable screen. I always wanted one, though. Sackboy. Why is he being dissected like an alien? Oh, I forgot this existed, yeah. Sure are lots of smaller versions of these things, man. Okay, maybe it can. What? I didn't even know this existed. The controller's not, like, particularly revolutionary. The HD rumble stuff, I mean, you know, the Switch has that. It feels good on this controller. The controller has got a good, like, girth to it. The haptics on the R2 and L2 buttons are nice. I don't think they're game changers, but it's cool, I guess. My favorite controller? Maybe the GameCube controller, but that controller, it's a nostalgia pick. I think, to me, the Switch Pro controller is exactly what I want in a controller. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good controllers out there. I think we've kind of figured it out. Like, gone are the days of the N64 controller, and gone are the days of, like, the Ouya, which just looked uncomfortable. This is the PS2 themed area. Well, I say themed, it's not, like, you know, overtly PS2, but you unlock PS2s and PS2 accessories. Let me just use Ascend real quick to get up here. I don't know what game this is supposed to be. Gravity Rush? I can't believe the robot is dead. Well, that's a pretty intense reference. That can only be one thing. Clud Sword. The Proud Clod. Oh, is that Pyramid Head? So, chat. Can you hear it? The haptics? Vib Ribbon? Is that a Vib Ribbon reference? No shit! It's amazing how many of the games I don't get the references to, like the big games, and then you show me a Vib Ribbon reference, and I'm like, that's the best thing ever. I'm like, is that God of War? Which guy is that? Kratos? It's Kremrold. Turns out it was Kremrold the whole time. That's neat. I had plenty of these. Well, 2 of them. I guess that's plenty. Plenty in terms of you don't need more than... Usually don't need more than 2. Okay, you might need more than 2.
Robot, bro, play DMC2. This is DMC2 because he shoot, he does not use sword. His shoot is best in game. Don't has cool jacket and he shoot. Oh, he does use sword. No, it's DMC3.
Vinny, nobody has a PS5. Normally, I would laugh about that, but isn't it like up to 50 or 60 million units sold? It's like 40 million, 41 million. It's cool, but I find it interesting how 22 million of those sales are all scalpers. Well, chat, I'll be the first to say it. As a system, even though this thing takes up a lot of room, I do like the PS5. My experience with it has been good in terms of UI and like quality of life and good controller. So I guess that's nice. Those are nice things. He's now a PlayStation shill. Uh-oh. I've been called many things in my life. Some fair, some unfair, but I've never been called a PlayStation shill. Technically, I shill for bad movies and games more than good stuff. Technically. Because I've told people about The Room so many times, and so many of my highlights are actually bad games. So I described The Room to my wife as life-changingly bad. Yeah, well, you know whose life it changed? Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero, for sure. The problem I have with The Room is that it made every other bad movie worse, and not in an entertaining way. Like, I love Troll 2, I still think that Troll 2 is a really entertaining bad movie, and I can watch that once a year, no problem, but The Room is on a different level of entertainment. Even Neil Breen might be the exception, but The Room is like perfectly paced there is something that makes no sense every couple seconds, honestly. Oh, this is the smaller PS2. I didn't have this. This is nice, though. I like the way this looks. Again, PS1. I still like the PS1 and its iterations the best. Just in terms of the way it looks. But yeah, man, the PS1 had fucking Metal Gear Solid 1, had all the Final Fantasy games, Tony Hawk 2, Bubsy. Oh wait, no, not Bubsy. Symphony of the Night, yeah. Symphony of the Night's better than anything Castlevania that came out on the PS2. That'll hit you right in that nostalgia hole right there. Vinny, which are you seeing in theaters, Barbie or Oppenheimer? I can do both. I'm an adult. I'm seeing Oppenheimer in IMAX, and then I'll see Barbo movie at some point after that, I'm sure. Unless they both suck, in which case I'll just eat shit. I don't know. I love gacha games. More gotchas. More. GPS. Oh, it's a PSP thing? Huh. It's funny to think that these things were just not a part of the devices. Now we have all of that in a phone. And like, you needed to buy a camera. Crazy. I think there's something wrong with me, chat. I mean, you know, aside from all the things that are wrong with me, but I get irrationally, like, angry when I see this series of movement from human limbs at this point. I don't know if it's because of the societal implications of it, or because of just the way the limbs move. I don't have a good reason. Maybe it's Ninja on New Year's Eve that one year. I'm not seeing enough movement. Maybe that was enough to do it for me. Yeah. The year is 1994. Energy. Ryan Gosling's brain is fucking broken, by the way. I think that role really screwed him up. Like, he keeps talking about how scientists don't understand what energy is, and it's like a burrito that hasn't been microwaved properly or something. Like, the dude is off the fucking rails. I would say I'm worried about him, but I mean, at least he seems like he's having a good time. Literally just advertising. Wait. I thought he was a relatable friend. Oh my god. I remember seeing this tech demo in videos about the PS1. When I see this dinosaur, my mind goes to the Parasite Eve fight. Maybe because I just played it. It's not over yet, Snake. Guaranteed. Trophy. There you go. Grab the tongue. Grab it. Man, the amount of times I've had to pull a tongue in a video game. Well, it's not the most, like, lengthy experience, but again, for a pack-in game, and for, like, a little demo, and I thought it said Miyamoto. It's like, what is Miyamoto doing here? For a pack-in game, it's great, and for PlayStation nostalgia, it's great. It really is phenomenal. Like, the type of game that this is, I wasn't expecting, like, to even get 2 streams out of it. It's just a really quality experience. I broke 2 PS4 controllers, and I don't know how. One just broke. Like, it just broke, and then the other one, I dropped it maybe 3 feet one time, and then the fucking thing just stopped working forever. So I don't know, man. I'm still salty about that controller. I mention it more than I should. But yeah, it was nice. I guess we're done with the PS5 now. We got the PS5's credits, and well, it's over.